guys? We are here. We don't even have a name yet, but this is our first official podcast for the year of 2023. Really excited to do this. So before we get started, a little bit of background. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be reviewing, we're going to go more into pop culture, review TV shows, movies, maybe video games at one point. But I figured what's the best way to start? I think with The Last of Us TV show that just came out. I know David played the games.
Yes, I did.
I've been wanting to play the games, but I'm too much of a baby. I don't want to play by myself. So I got a PS5. I put it in the living room, and I'm trying to play with my girls around. That way she could hold my hand as I'm playing. But yeah, I really wanted to play. That's the only reason why I bought the PS5, because the remastered edition just came out.
That's true, yeah.
But yeah, I think this is going to be fun. The first episode was really great, so we're really excited to dive in there. Is there anything that you wanted to say before we get started?
No, you know what? I'm working on my radio voice. Does this sound good for you guys? Is this doing it for you?
And also, this show is sponsored by organicpricedbooks.com. You can pick up the best collected edition comic books at a great deal and a great service. All right, so let's get started. So we're going to be talking about The Last of Us TV show episode 1. Yeah. So careful for spoilers if you never watched it before. So how would you compare the first episode with the video game so far, character-wise and just the story?
I think they're definitely building the world much more than the game at the start. So if you never played the game, you start off playing Joel, who was played by Pablo Pascal, and
Pedro.
Pedro Pascal. I'm thinking Pablo El Chapo. Sorry. So you basically are. I hate the games where you have to guide somebody or bodyguard somebody, because they usually are, the AI for them is really dumb. But The Last of Us actually was pretty good. So that you kind of just jump right into it. As the game progresses, you kind of figured out what happened to the world. Mm-hmm. But in the show, obviously, it starts off, and you kind of see it starting from the beginning with what happened to him and his brother and his daughter, which was great. So if you haven't seen the show, definitely recommend it. It's on HBO.
Yeah, I feel like the beginning, the first maybe 20 minutes was very similar, where it made me feel like you're watching Fear the Walking Dead in a way, because when you just realize there's an outbreak, you don't know what's going on. I wish there was more a TV show that's more towards the beginning, instead of The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead, which is a few years afterwards, because I want to see people's reactions and experiences and
and how the government was acting and all that stuff.
Act as it's still in the first year, because that'd be cool. People are oh, should I kill this person? Should they be saved? Stuff like that. But dude, that car scene when they were driving away, bro. I think that was the where I was me and Vicky were sweating. Our palms were so oh my gosh, how are they gonna get out of here?
That part, and then it's driving, and then Sarah's like, "Daddy," and then the plane. Oh, you're like, "Oh, that's it. Listen."
Oh yeah, that's for sure. So let's start from the very beginning. How do you like it when the introduction was pretty good when they were talking about the viruses?
Yeah, and in the 60s show, very cool.
So was that in the game as well, or is this something they added?
That was something they added. So that was not in the game, but it's actually, so I looked it up, it's actually true. So funguses don't really grow. I mean, you can get toe fungus here, but it's a superficial sort of thing. It's not anything that grows inside of you. But there are funguses that take over animals' body and control them, especially for bugs. And what they were saying is true. It's due to our internal temperature, they can't let's say take over us. Uh-huh. But what if something like this does adapt to the world now? Yeah. Man,
that would be a little bit scary. So now when you're watching this 2 years after whatever happened with the pandemic, because they were talking about this is gonna be a pandemic, then we had the COVID that came out. I was oh my goodness, so now I'm on edge.
Yeah, and then listen, I don't want to get political, but seeing how we reacted during the pandemic, and people were like, I'm not gonna take the vaccine, I'm not gonna wear a mask. Bro, if something like that happened, that people would be like, this is not real, and they're gonna get bitten. And I'm like, I'm okay, and then they're gonna be the ones who infect everybody, man. So
I could definitely see that, especially here in the U.S.
Yeah.
All right, because man, that was a crazy time to be around in 2020. But, all right, so that was really cool that they added that one in. Did you know that his brother and daughter were they in the game as well?
They are in the game.
Because when I was looking at the game, I thought The Last of Us was based off a father and daughter.
Yeah, it kind of sets it up like that. Like later on, they get that relationship, but when you start off, he's really like, this is just a job for him. Like,
Okay.
he's just doing it because he needs to, either get paid or do his thing. Like he really has no relationship with Ellie at the beginning of the game, but obviously as you progress, it kind of gives both of their backstories, so you see them start to develop a relationship.
Okay. And in the backstory in the game, his brother and his daughter died as well.
Yes, like I think his brother's still alive in the game. It's been a while since I played it, but the daughter has passed, and that's kind of why he's kind of like very. Even in the show, you see after, spoilers. After you see his daughter dies, he's very much like the job. Like he becomes cold and very like rough.
Yeah.
So he's kind of like that in the game when you start off. He's very towards Ellie. He's just like she needs help. He feels like this is a waste of time, like trying to help her. But obviously that's just because it's the beginning of him, doing this mission that needs to be done to, as they kind of mentioned in the book, save the world because her blood is like immune or whatever.
Yeah, she's like the last hope for the X-Men.
Yeah.
Basically. Yeah, so that was really cool how they had the 2 Game of Thrones actors in there as well.
Yeah.
That was very neat.
Yeah, and if you don't know, Pedro Pascal played... in Game of Thrones, I forgot what his name was. Oh, yeah.
Martell.
And if you remember, he had probably one of the most memorable death scenes in all, where the mountain basically crushed his skull in front of it.
That was crazy.
Yeah, that was a crazy ending. And then Ellie, played by who you said, Bella Ramsey.
Oh, yeah, Bella. Yeah,
Bella Ramsey. She played Little Bear, and she did great, man. Like at the end of that season 8, where she was still in it, like I think she was probably one of the most memorable characters too. So that's really cool that you see these characters from other shows come here, and it's pretty funny. So I was reading that Pedro Pascal had just finished filming The Mandalorian, which he plays the Mandalorian as well. If you haven't seen that, and they had just finished season 2, and they offered him this. And he jumped at it. He said, he signed up within 24 hours.
Dang, yeah. I mean, I would be if I was a huge fan and a great actor.
Yeah, but he actually didn't play the game. So he was saying that he couldn't get coordinated with the controller. So he basically watched his nephew play the game.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah,
that's a great way, because a lot of people, they watch games rather than play it nowadays.
That's true.
I rather play it, but I just don't have the time commitment.
Yeah.
So let's skipping forward in the time jump. When the little girl was walking towards the safe haven.
Oh yeah.
Was that Ellie at a younger age, or
no?
that somebody else?
Didn't you see that's the girl that he threw into the fire?
Oh.
They was wearing the shoes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
See,
I thought the same thing, but then I went back and rewatched it, and yeah, basically the girl that he picked up, the lady's like, I can't do it. It's basically that girl.
Oh, that girl in the very beginning. Okay, because I thought that was like, was there another time jump? I don't understand.
And then I paused it there. So if you don't know, so this virus, if let's say one of the people that's infected bites you, you have it's basically like for sure that you're gonna die. So if they bite you in the neck or like in your head, you have 5 to 10 minutes to live. If they bite you in the arm or the body, then you have, I think it's 2 to 8 hours, and then like on the legs or on the feet, you have up to 24 hours before you start to show symptoms. So when they showed that she had that scratch on her knee, then they basically, that's why they gave her that injection, to basically kill her.
Yeah. Okay, all right, that makes sense. See, that just went way over me. That's fine. Well, that's a good detail, and because I was like, you're gonna be okay and everything. I was, she's gonna live.
We'll give you ice cream and all the toys you want. Nope.
Yeah, that was crazy though. He just threw her in the fire like no big deal. But he's hardened. Because how many years has it been? Like 20 years?
Yeah, it had been 20 years. So yeah, he's definitely like, he doesn't care. I would say, listen, as a guy with 3 daughters, I can understand it.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. All right. What's the next scene after that? Like the next big scene? His girlfriend or somebody getting beat up.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, getting beat up. Sorry. Let me just go back real quick. That part when they're trying to get to the river and they get separated with the brother.
Oh yeah.
That part was intense too, and they're getting chased by that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't. It was too much like, I felt too much like zombies, like the running zombies, which I hate. Of all the zombie movies, I hate the running zombies, and I know this is that virus that makes them do that.
Yeah.
Or sorry, the fungus, but Bro, when he's running through the diner, I panicked, bro.
I was like, oh snap! How is he gonna get away from this?
Now the reason that I panicked is I have 3 daughters, right?
Uh-huh.
I have a 7-year-old, an 8-year-old, and a 2-year-old. So if that situation were to happen, like there's no way I could protect all 3 of them, and let's say Cynthia, my wife. So I would either have to fight that thing or sacrifice myself or sacrifice one of the girls.
Just buy it.
Yeah. So the older I get now, like I put myself in a situation, I'm like, bro, I would not.
Yeah.
I can probably say I would not survive that sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, good thing we're not in that type of situation.
Yeah.
And that reminds me, going back, since we're going back a little bit, when she, what was the daughter's name again?
Sarah.
When Sarah walked into the house. And then she's, like she saw the blood, and she still continues to walk and look around.
Yes.
I'm like, bro, anybody else would just run out of there, call the cops, or like be gone. Especially with everything that's going on in the surrounding, like bombs going off, police sirens everywhere. Like, who would still walk around the place and like look at what's going on? Like as soon as I see blood and the dead guy right there, I'm like, I'm gone.
Nope,
see ya.
Gone. He could be asking me for help. Sorry, bro. I'm gonna let the police handle that.
That dark hallway. You already know. I was actually waiting for a jump scare to happen, but
You know where I was waiting for the jump scare? When she's looking for like the DVDs and the old ladies in the back like moving.
Oh yeah, moving around.
Oh,
that was. Ooh, that was freaky.
Yeah.
I'm glad they blurred it out though. That way you don't see all the
detail.
Yeah, I was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah. And then like that, the whole scene sets up the kind of the story of this world that they live in. But like when they're going to the highway and it's blocked, I'm thinking so we live in Dallas, bro. All the highways would be blocked, and you would have to take all the streets, and they would probably be bad too, man. Like I'm trying to think, where would we go? Like where would here in Dallas, where would you go to like try to find a safe location? But there's too many people.
Yeah. No, you think it was like a mall or something. That's not safe at all. Like maybe a rooftop balcony, but then you can't do anything.
Yeah. That's now it makes me think. I'm like, where would I go in case of even a zombie apocalypse? Where would we go?
We'll go to the islands.
There you go. We still have to drive like 8 hours to the beach.
Oh yeah, that's very true. All right, now I think that's everything before Sarah's death. So there's Sarah. So we'll do BS for before Sarah, AS for after Sarah. That's funny. All right, now skipping forward. So when what's the main character's name again? Like
Joel.
When his girlfriend or whatever got jumped or beat up, they were like very scared of him. Is he like a very scary guy in the games or stuff like that?
I think it's just that he doesn't. Not that he doesn't care, but like, after having such a big loss, I'm guessing like he's numb to it, so he doesn't mind being violent. And I think even in the game, whenever you have to fight the guys, he like Joel punches them like to stun them. So he's like a very violent person in the sense that like if he's protecting his people, he's very defensive about it. So that's why they're very scared of him, because they know that what he's capable of.
Yeah. Okay. And then making the deal with the cop, is that something in the game as well? Or just that's just added in there?
Yeah. So they don't. You get a little bit of that later on when you run into some of the settlements and some of the people where you kind of have to make a deal. But it starts off with them already like how he was already, or in the end of the episode they're already like going to the city. Like in the game, it starts off you're already walking with Ellie. Like you're already, that's your mission. Yeah. So you don't really get a lot of that back part of the police, but I'm guessing that's probably what would happen, Yeah. Especially since he's trying to. I mean, his mission right now, or for his main focus, is his brother. He's trying to get to his brother. Ellie's just like a side quest.
Yeah. Okay.
And he's doing it just to get what he needs to get, so he can get to his brother, which like that was in the game as well. Yeah. Because he's just doing this to get to the next part, to get paid or whatever, or get the supplies that he needs to go find his brother.
Yeah. So I feel like this season, the main focus on this season, in my perspective, is the entire season. He's just gonna be trying to find his brother.
Yeah.
For the first season.
Yeah.
Is that a heavy plot in the game as well? It's just trying to find his brother, but protecting Ellie at the same time.
Yes. Yeah. So Ellie, like I said, to him it was just like, I'm doing this for the money or for whatever. Like she wasn't a priority to him.
Yeah.
But then after he learns what she's, why they're looking for her, then he starts investing himself into her. And you can kind of see that that's kind of what they're setting up. Like right now,
Yeah.
he's doing this to get out him and I think Tessa?
Yeah.
Yeah. They're just trying to get out so they can, go find the brother.
Yeah.
But then they're going to find out why she's so important. And then they're going to be like, okay, now do I keep protecting her because she's like the hope of the future? Or do I just go look for my brother?
So a quick question. Why do you think, like, since Ellie is the hope for the future, why do you think they want to kill her so bad?
It really is to keep the status quo. Like, for example, let's say you're a dictator, right?
Yeah.
Right now, everybody lives through fear of the situation you live in. And, there's a hope that they're going to cure this, so everybody can leave your little kingdom.
Yeah.
You're going to be like, no, I want to stay, powerful. I want to control everything. I'm not going to let that sort of thing happen.
Okay.
That's kind of, again, political stuff, but that's why electric cars took so long to come out, because big oil was like, no, we don't want, why are we going to take our money and that we can just keep having people buy cars that require oil when, the electric car can fix that. Because electric cars have been around for like a couple decades, but now is when they're becoming popular.
It became more mainstream.
Yeah, and now everybody's coming out with an electric car.
Yeah.
Ford, GM, everybody's doing their own because they saw how much people wanted it.
Yeah.
But before, they're like, no, we're not going to stop it. So it's kind of that same thing. Like they don't want to shake their kingdom and lose control of the people.
Okay. Cool. All right, that makes sense.
And that kind of goes into with the whole Fireflies that we start seeing there.
Okay, they're called the Fireflies.
Yeah, that group that Marlene was part of.
Yeah.
So she's the head of the Fireflies, and basically they want to restore democracy, which is everybody has a voice and has a choice instead of basically that police force. If you notice that whenever they were doing the bodies, there was guards behind them, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like they were forced to do the jobs just because they needed to be done, but it wasn't like volunteers. It was like, oh, you're doing that.
Yeah.
Even if you didn't want to.
Yeah.
So that's what they're trying to change.
Okay.
And actually, another fun fact, the girl who plays Marlene is actually the same actor who did it for the games.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's the only one. Like all the other ones, is actual actors, but she's actually from the game.
Okay.
They actually just got her again to play her same character.
Okay, well that means that she's gonna still be alive for a bit. Because like it looked like they were gonna die.
Yeah.
Like, she got shot. She's like, I'm bleeding out. I'm about to die. I was like, oh snap! They're gonna stay here and just fight to the end.
Yeah.
Like a captain going down with their ship.
Right? No, yeah, but she's probably she plays a role in the game, so she's probably gonna stay for a while.
Okay, and each episode airs every Thursday night, right?
Yeah.
Thursday. So we'll have tons of fun doing this one as well.
Yeah.
All right, so we basically talked about that. What do you think about like Joel, like when they got out the fence?
Yeah.
Like walking around.
Oh, that guy? Yeah, the police officer.
Yeah, when he beat the shit out of him, dude. Oh my gosh! I was like, okay, this guy. Now I see why everybody's so afraid of him.
Yeah.
Do you think the police officer is completely dead, or is he knocked out?
I think he's knocked out, but like really bad beat up. I mean, he was. If you saw, like, he got traumatized with the whole issue of Sarah being shot, kind of in the same thing.
Yeah.
So he. In that scene, I felt he was like reliving it, and he was like he attacked the guy because if he would have done that whenever he was with his daughter, he would have saved her.
Yeah.
Instead, they both got shot. So I kind of felt like he was expressing that anger towards the police officer, and it became bloody, and that's where you kind of see where they find out that she's infected, but she's not showing any symptoms, so that.
Yeah.
They haven't fully said, oh, she's the cure of the world.
Yeah.
But it's going to lead up to that, which is, exciting to see.
Yeah, and I felt like when they were walking into the city, that was a great way to like pan like the horror and everything. You hear the monster scream.
Yeah.
Did you see the monster in the top left corner? Like, I think there was a monster on a rooftop that was like screaming, or so that was maybe my imagination playing.
I think it was, yeah. They're definitely painting that, and I'm really hoping this. So we saw the part of where the humans live. Now I want them to go to where you see these monsters now. Yeah.
Yeah. Remember when they were walking in the
sewer? Yeah. And you see that thing in the wall?
Yeah. So what is that? What are those called? The clickers?
Yes, they're called clickers. And then basically, so the fungus. If you remember what the guy was talking about, the fungus goes to your brain and it starts affecting you there. So then, like, the fungus starts to actually, like, deform your head, and it looks like a mushroom, which you saw there on the wall is like. I guess like that's their final form. Like, if there's nowhere for them to infect anybody, they'll just go somewhere and they'll just like die, and they'll like stick on a wall. But if they're still active, they look human. Like they'll have clothes, but they'll have that thing on their head.
Yeah.
But they can't really talk to you or anything. It's just more, like very very animalistic. And that's, if you remember when they were sneaking by trying to get out, that's a lot. That reminded me a lot about the actual game, because a lot of the game you're just trying to sneak by.
Yeah.
You're trying not to get their attention because you don't want to have to fight.
Yeah.
Because in The Last of Us, even though you do have guns, you try not to use them, because if you do, then they're gonna come and attack you.
Yeah,
and
swarm you basically.
Yeah, and it's not like a zombie game where you have unlimited bullets. No, it's like
like Left 4 Dead or something like that.
You have like 2 mags, and if you use all your bullets, then you have to do hand to hand, or you have to try to hide or run out and hide. So that was an aspect that I did not like. I'm like you. I'm a scaredy cat. Resident Evil. I hate that game.
Yeah.
But I love the game. I love playing it, but I hate the aspect that it's dark. So that sneaking, they're gonna find me and they're gonna kill me. That always freaked me out. But it was fun.
Yeah, I'm a run and gun type of person. I'm just gonna run and shoot everything at the same time. That's why I like playing like Dead Rising or Left 4 Dead and stuff like that.
JP's one of the 360 no scope in the air.
Yeah, but if I had to like hide around and stealth walk and everything, I was like, man, that's a different story. Especially when it comes to horror.
Yeah.
Like I could do that in like, Assassin's Creed and stuff, but like in a horror game, it's like, ooh, no.
Yeah.
Man. That's why I'm on the fence of playing it. I want to, because I heard the storyline was like one of the best storylines in PS5.
Yeah.
Or PlayStation in general.
Yeah, I think this is the one for the PS5. I believe is like the 3rd or 4th time that they remastered it, because I know they did a remaster for the PS4.
Yeah.
And then they did another like deluxe edition that was also remastered, and this one's like the 4th one.
And you gotta know it's really good if it gets remastered every single year and every single generation of the console.
Yeah.
Because not a lot of games get a remastered edition.
Yeah.
I know Witcher took like 10 years to get a remastered edition.
Yeah, but The Last of Us is definitely the first one is a classic. The second one, it was controversial just because of the decisions that they took for the story. But I still haven't played that one. I just know what happens, and I like the stories to see where it goes. But I think the first season is definitely going to follow the first game up to a certain point. Okay. I don't know if they're going to finish like the full season like the game. Yeah. Because the game, there's a lot. They'd run into a lot of different people. Yeah. Before she gets to where she needs to go in the final mission. Yeah. So we're gonna see how long the season's gonna be for compared to the game.
If you were to compare it, if you were to take the game and break it into seasons, how many seasons would you think it could make in a TV show?
You could probably do easy 3 seasons.
Okay.
Yeah. Because there's different groups that you run into that are kind of like, I want to say like little bosses in a sense. Yeah. And each of them are like completely different. So you saw the military guys, and then you saw like Fireflies, which are like the fighter guys. But there's like bandits, of course. There's like a group that they go into that is like a cult that they eat people.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Kind of like the Walking Dead cannibals.
Yes. Okay. Yes. So that's a little like he has to like deal with them. So that could be like its own season. Like let's say they get trapped in there, kind of like with Walking Dead where they met with remember with the governor, how that was a whole season. Yeah. And in the books it was actually pretty short, or in the comic books.
Yeah, it was really short.
Yeah. So they could definitely do stuff like that and like dive deep into that sort of how the world is reacting to that sort of virus, the type of people that are, they'll go crazy with that sort of thing. So they could definitely break it up into easy 3 seasons for the first game.
What would you say is your top like WTF moment in this episode? Like, the top one.
Top one?
I think for me is when his daughter got shot. Right after fixing his watch, and then what Ellie was like, your watch is broken again afterwards. Like, I was like, damn, man, that's just ouch. That was a kick in the heart.
Right. I agree with you. That the scene from when the daughter does she wake up? She wakes up, right? No, yeah, she goes home. Yeah, she's waiting for her dad.
And just everything.
From that part till she gets shot, that was suspenseful, and it was like 15 minutes. I didn't see how. I was like, wow. But that whole part kind of sets the whole tone of it, and I really enjoyed that. So let's say BS, before Sarah, that whole 15-minute car ride from the truck to the end, that marked that was my like what the whole plane landing. That was my big what the fuck moment. Oh, sorry. I mean, what the WTF moment.
What would you give this episode a rating out of 1 out of 10? I felt like it was a pretty solid 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
It kept me in, like, it was a 1 hour, 30-minute episode. It was basically a movie.
Yeah.
And nothing felt long, nothing felt boring. It was, like, pretty solid all the way through.
Yeah.
I know a lot of pilot episodes, like, it's very boring because there's a lot of build-up.
Yeah.
But this one kept you on your seat from the very beginning all the way to the very end.
I agree. It was. I think it was perfectly set up. They gave you a backstory, but it wasn't too long where you're like, oh, this is too much.
Yeah.
It dived right into the action, which kind of brought your attention back to back to what's going on.
Yeah.
Then they gave you the world that they're living in now. But again, like you said, it was an hour and a half, but you don't feel it, and they kept it up. Like they kept the pace was really good.
Yeah.
And they didn't give you too much information. Because some shows you'll be like, they give you like the entire backstory of the entire
everything.
universe, and you're just like,
and
what?
Recaps and flashbacks.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to anime.
Yeah. And like I kind of like that they kept the story definitely centered on the characters.
Yeah.
So like you just saw what they saw, for example, the police passing by, but you don't see like they don't show like a clip of the world being overrun. No, none of that. It's very focused on Joel and his family and how they deal with it, and then after that, Joel and how he's dealing with the world as it's living now. So they kept it very focused on him, which is great. You don't get too much, for example, the whole when they finally find the battery and the girl.
Yeah.
You don't get to see that whole action scene. You don't. You just get there and they're like, why is there blood coming out?
Yeah.
They push it open. That whole battle scene we never saw.
Yeah.
Because it's just them trying to get, it's from their perspective. They just walk into this massacre that's already happened.
Yeah.
So they don't see that. So I like that they didn't show all of that because it's kind of too much. It would take too much away from the character.
Yeah.
And just like The Last of Us, it's a very character-driven story game.
Yeah.
And this show looks like it's very character-driven.
Yeah.
And you get to see a little bit of Ellie, which I kind of wish we had more of her. But you kind of get to see how she's very defiant, like she's standoffish, which she's like that in the game as well. I'm going to be honest. When they announced who was playing Ellie and Joel, I was kind of skeptical because Joel in the game is like a white guy, and Pedro Pascal is Hispanic, and then for Ellie they picked. What's her name? Her name is
I call her Little Bear.
Yeah.
Bella Ramsey?
Bella, yeah. They picked Bella, who she's a great actor, obviously, from Game of Thrones, but I'm like, is she going to be able to pull this off? But now seeing it, I'm like, okay. They definitely are able to fit in those shoes. It's not like they're not exactly trying to play the same character from the game.
Yeah.
They're making it their own, and it paid off. Like, I can definitely see.
I feel like it worked out pretty well.
Yeah. Both of them are playing great roles, and they picked a really good cast. Even Tessa, I was like, okay, you could see that they had a relationship, but they're also business partners.
Yeah.
So that was, it's not like she's all over him like a lover. It's just very,
transactional.
Yeah. Which is cool. But like I said, they set up the world great. You kind of now know who the Fireflies are, what they're for, but it's not like all of their details or anything like that. Yeah. You also know that right now, I guess it's Firma. Is that the government Firma? They said.
I think something around.
Yeah, they're like militaristic, but they're not bad either. As you saw, like the cop guy wanted drugs, so it's kind of like they're still human.
Yeah, exactly. So not everybody's perfect.
Yeah. And even that aspect when they're trying to haggle him, he's like, I'll give you all of the take and half off on the pill. He's like, half off, all off.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That was a really cool thing. So you definitely feel more human when you're talking about the police and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They're not like like diehard government people.
Right. Yeah. They can be bargained with. They're human, so they definitely played that, showing that even though the police are like, these people are in control, they still they'll haggle for drugs and they'll do deals so that he can get out. They even when he told them don't go out these next 2 days because we're gonna be doing raids or whatever.
Yeah. And
he still went out and he's like, I told you. So it's very like they're giving it a lot of humanity to the different roles that they're playing, which is good because that's kind of how even right now in life people are. Police officers. Yeah, we see them as officers, but they can they're people too. They have families and all that. But yeah, definitely great. I think this was probably one of the best pilots that I've ever seen. And HBO, their production value is super high.
Yeah, that's very true.
The Game of
Thrones. It felt like an entire movie.
Yeah,
honestly, like how visually pleasing everything was.
Yeah, it really did. It didn't. It felt like that was the city living at the end of the world. Like sometimes you'll see it and you're like, oh, this feels a little corny. Walking Dead. Sometimes some of the seasons you're like, okay, this is too much.
Yeah. But
it felt good. Like they weren't all like, how do you say, like, in The Walking Dead, some of the cities are like completely like empty and stuff like that.
Yeah.
This one, like, they were still going about their business. Like when he goes, is there any other jobs? He's like, yeah, you can sweep the streets or clean the sewers.
Yeah.
Which is, it would have to happen. Even at the end of the world, we still need to clean the streets.
Yeah.
Or clean the sewers.
Yeah, basically.
So definitely, it's a very grounded show. It's not like super sci-fi, which is great.
Yeah. So definitely looking forward to every single episode that's coming out. What would you rate this on your TV shows that you're watching right now? Is this like your number one that you're most excited for every week, or are there any other shows that are like on your list right now?
Well, yeah. Right now, this one's obviously because of the game. I was very looking forward to it. The reason, of course, is because a lot of movies and shows based on games they don't do very well.
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed, the movie sucked. We also had Prince of Persia. That one also sucked. What's the one with Tom Holland? Uncharted, yeah. That one was good. I enjoyed that one. So, the track record for shows based on games is not very good. But this one seems like it's knocking it out of the park. And I enjoyed it. I don't have anything bad to say about it, which is great. Based on the shows that I'm watching right now, it's definitely right now in the top 3 that I'm excited for. Just because they set it up really well, and now I'm just like, I want to dive into it to see what's going to happen.
I felt like Halo was a pretty solid show as well, based off the game. I know a lot of people were disappointed because he took off his helmet and stuff like that.
Yes.
So, you got to make it a TV worthy anyway. Like, you can't exactly be just like the games because you could just play the game.
Yeah. I don't want to play the exact thing from the game. It's kind of like, okay, give you a little bit of difference is great.
Yeah.
But don't just go crazy like, for example, didn't Master Chief have, a girl? Yeah, didn't have. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. He.
Oh yeah, maybe.
In the show, didn't he?
I think so.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't remember.
But actually, I know for sure that the whole helmet thing was a big aspect for gamers. They're like, he's not supposed to take off his helmet.
Yeah.
Well, guys, we're living. It's a different story. You have to see it like that. It's different. But this one definitely, I think, is right now probably the top show that I'm looking forward to. Besides that, I mean, what other show are you? What other show are you watching?
And those in the comments, let us know what other shows or movies and stuff like that are based off video games, but actually really good. Because there's a lot of them that are not good.
Sonic. Top of my list is Sonic.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
the
bro.
movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool shows coming out as well, like Ant-Man and stuff like that. We're excited for it, but I want to find some more like video game based movies, TV shows. That'd be really cool.
Yeah. Video game. I mean, besides that, Resident Evil. They're action movies.
The TV show was not that good.
The TV show
even though it was like created by Netflix and stuff. Like the first episode, I was like, man, these kids are so annoying. I don't want to watch this.
Oh, it was such a drama movie, like a teen drama, and I'm just like, do you not understand that this is Resident Evil? Like, why am I? Why are they in high school? Oh,
exactly.
If you watch that show, I feel sorry for you because I had to live through that as well.
But definitely let us know your thoughts. What do you like? What would you rate this first episode at? Let us know in the comments, and let us know what other Easter eggs did we miss, because I know there's a lot of Easter eggs that they put in there that were referenced to games and stuff like that.
Yes.
I never played the game, so I can't catch it. Maybe David can.
Yes.
But I'm pretty sure there's quite a bit of Easter eggs in that first episode that reference the games a lot.
There is, yeah. The part whenever she's waiting, they're kind of talking outside, and she's in that room where she finds that book. There is some Easter eggs there.
Okay.
But there is definitely a lot more. If you guys, let me know which ones you guys like the most. It's been a while since I played the game, and now I need a PS5 so I can play it. Me and JP can play it.
Yeah, we'll play it and I'll just watch. But is there anything else that you want to say before we hop off?
No, this was great.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. Yeah. Let us know what you guys want us to talk about. If you guys have any ideas. We're still coming up with a name.
Yeah, we're still coming up with a name, so it's going to be a random generic name for now. But let us know what you think about this podcast, how you like it, what you wanted to improve upon and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Hope you guys enjoyed it and stayed to the very end. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys in our next episode podcast.